Coach, you could just start with opening thoughts on the game.
Yeah, great win. We talked a lot about finding a way to win those 50-50 games. We felt this was a 50-50 game. I don't think anyone else in the country felt it was a 50-50 game. I think their beat writer said that they were going to be better at every position on the field, and our guys knew that, and that kind of fueled them a little bit also. But yeah, I mean, playing a good football team that's coming off a bowl appearance, and really, kind of methodically just kind of chewing them down offensively and defensively. I think it was a great win for us. So,
last season, y'all kind of missed that big play to start games, and in the fourth play, y'all go 67 yards for the quick score. Just how much kind of a breathing room did it give y'all, knowing that y'all went up 7-0 early?
yeah, well, I think when we doubled them up and Fish's interception really was like, okay, whew, this isn't like a fluke. We got a 7-pointer. Like we're here to stay, and there's been a lot of chemistry built on this team. And I've spoken a bunch about it. The fact that, we didn't have a practice field in the summertime, so these guys were getting up at, 5:45 in the morning and driving over to our intramural field, which is just off campus, and getting their workout in, and then coming back to the facility and then going to the weight room. I mean, no one does that. We did. We took 2.5 weeks at Huntsville High School because our field wasn't ready. No one does that. We did. No one has pounding outside their meeting rooms during every single meeting we have because we're trying to get our visit locker room. We do. But to me, that's how you bring together a team. That's the great chemistry that we have because these guys had to overcome those kind of adversities. I told a story about the Philadelphia Eagles scout coming to practice, and he goes, "Coach, this is the first time I've ever been at a college football practice, and there's a full-blown construction site taking place. And there's actually a moat going around that our players had to walk almost a quarter mile to get off and then come all the way around up and down some hills." But that's what we do. I mean, I think we're best when, things aren't perfect. And it's kind of who we are. And we really emphasize there's no excuses. There's no kind of pointing the finger. These are our circumstances, and we're going to handle them. And I think actually it grows us more than anything else. And I saw the same thing in that 21 national championship team. Played a season without a locker room, played a season with a historic snowstorm. So I think there's a lot of things that organically came together that really have made this a close team in a short period of time. And I think that win showed, our guys playing some pretty good football.
Hunter got the start. Just what have you seen from him through training camp to kind of lead to that, and what did you see from him this evening?
Yeah, I would have this argue with Ron Jaworski all the time when I worked for NFL Films about, is there something called it? I think he has it, There's a poise to him, there's a calmness to him, but there's a competitiveness to him. There's a cockiness to him, but at the same time, you would never in a million years think that he has any sort of ego. And he has great skill set. I mean, he throws the ball really well. He's very athletic. He'll get better in his decision making the more he plays. Most people don't know this. He missed the entire summer because of a meniscus. And I think you got maybe 3/4 of what Hunter is. I think you're going to see more from Hunter as the season grows because he grows every single play he takes out there. Also, I think it was great that we had the communication with Coach Korn up there, and he could just I think that's what made it so seamless for us to start him. He could give him some reminders and say, hey, listen, second down we've been getting a lot of cover too. Hey, third and long they've been dropping 8, whatever it may be. So that would just give him a little tip, and I think that really helped us work through the fact that he missed a bunch of time this summer. And again, I think there's only better days in front for him.
Your defense induced 7 3-and-outs. Just what can you say about their performance and defensive coordinator Skylar Cassidy coaching his first game as a Bearcat?
Well, it all starts with talent, and I thought our staff did a great job finding talent late in we found Cash 2 days before training camp started. Denver was a guy that, I think a lot of people didn't realize how good he was because he only played 37 snaps at New Mexico State. Our guys took the time and watched every snap and said, this guy just needs the right opportunity. So, first of all, I have to congratulate the staff. I think they did a really good job bringing in some pretty good talent. Second thing is they've developed some great chemistry with these kids. I see it every single day. I see the relationships they have. And, again, I think we played really well as a unit out there. I never panicked. And there's some things we have to get cleaned up and corrected. But at the same time, I was really happy with both sides of the ball, and I thought that we did some good things on teams also.
The offensive line saw a lot of rotation. You also didn't have Orion out there. It seems like he wasn't out there.
Yeah, no, Orion missed this game, unfortunately, and he had a great training camp up until then. But I bet we played 8 offensive linemen. I bet we played 10 or 11 defensive linemen, and we were playing probably 4 or 5 linebackers. I mean, we have the depth. This is a much deeper team. I've said this a number of times. Our roster is better, not just the frontline guys, but also the depth is better. So the hope is in games like this where it's hot and humid and, you got to rotate guys, we were able to do that maybe as good as they could. And I think that was one of the keys of us, winning was the fact that we could take guys off of special teams, get some other guys in, and also roll in a lot of D linemen and O linemen.
Was it like to have Day back and also everyone finally getting to see Quavez Humphreys?
Yeah, I think in this defense you have to have 2 corners, and we got 2 corners that are really good football players. And then Quavez, he's only going to get better and better and better. I think we're just scraping the surface on where he can take his game. And again, I think there's a lot of growth potential in front of us. We're going to enjoy this for 24 hours, and then we're going to worry about playing Central Florida.
And Coach, just to lead off, just what can y'all take from this win to open up the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think when people put the schedule together, they thought this one was going to be a little uphill for us. Coming off a bowl, having most of their team back at their place, and like I said, I thought it was a pretty, convincing win, and it was all phases of the game. So I think we feel good about that. There's some things we got to clean up, and we will. And obviously, we're playing a great opponent in Central Florida in the Bounce House. It should be a lot of fun.
Last year it was always after wins you dance, you get the win in week 1. Just how good does it feel to dance in week 1?
Oh yeah.
And at media day, y'all mentioned just kind of getting things rolling. How much can that do for you?
Yeah, the guys were, because I give them a hard time because I don't want any dancing while we're on the field during the game while there's still time left on the clock. We got to, once it hits all zeros, we're good. And so when we win, boy, we're going to enjoy ourselves in there. I gave a game ball to Don Sanders. I don't know if you noticed there was names in the back of our jerseys. And that's been a 2.5-year discussion with he and I about putting names in the back of our jerseys. And I thought this team could handle it. I thought there was a maturity to this team, that they understand that, we're playing for the name in the back, but more importantly, we're playing for the name in the front. And as long as we understand that, we can do this. And so when the players walked in, it's the first time they knew they were getting names on the back of their jersey. So I thought it was pretty cool. So Don came in, I gave him a game ball. And then Bobby, obviously, Rice grad, played here. I don't think he got any game balls when he played here, so we decided to give him a game ball as athletic director. So we had a little fun with Bobby in the locker room too, which is always, the kids love Bobby, and it's always great when we can have him in our locker room and have some fun with him.
Coach, you talked about how big the start was for y'all doubling up there, but how big was that touchdown at the end of the half to go in 24-7 instead of 17?
Absolutely. No, I mean, there was a lot of major plays. Like I said, doubling up. Quavez getting that 7 big, but then when we doubled them up, and then we kicked a field goal, so we're up 17. And then, they were fighting back. And so, okay, it's going to be a 10-point ball game going in. But, boy, that last drive of the half for us to get in there and score, that was huge. Emotionally, it went in there. It was just like, okay, let's go play football. Let's not overthink anything. Let's go play football. And like I said, I mean, I think statistically I'll look at this thing. I haven't looked at it yet, but I think probably was pretty convincing that we got a run game going. We weren't sure if we could get a run game going because how physical they were up front. I think we did a pretty good job stopping their run game, which that was my real concern. I was concerned about kicking off to them. I told Skylar this because we don't see in practice 320 across the front. We don't see a running back that style, downhill style. And it didn't seem to bother us. I think we did a pretty good job shutting it down.
Appreciate it, Coach.
All right, thanks, guys.
It's obviously a big win for y'all tonight. Just kind of what were you feeling out there to go up against this Rice squad?
I mean, it started out with the jitters, but once we got going as a team and we kept pushing down the field and our defense kept getting stops, all that got out and we just kept moving the ball down the field and scoring.
Obviously you were named the starter of this team. What does that kind of mean to you to go through the training camp after being a transfer from a junior college?
So it means everything. It's been a long journey. I'm thankful for the whole staff, the trainers especially, getting me back and healthy, and it means everything. I thank God. I thank I mean, there's so many people I could thank. It's not even funny.
You know, I think it was the fourth play y'all had from scrimmage. You know, you go 67 yards to ball.
Yes, sir.
I mean, how did that make you feel just knowing that you could break it open that easy?
Man, it was an unreal feeling. It was first touchdown here at the FBS level, and I mean, I couldn't quite explain how it felt. Honestly, I mean, I just saw him open, and it was great to get that guy the ball and get him the ball in open field and let him go.
You know, after you won a national championship for Iowa Western, offensive coordinator Brad Cornelson offered you right
Yep.
after the game, and then now you're here. Just overall, how does it feel just like going from one place to another?
I mean, it was a crazy transition because it went so quick, playing the Natty in December and then getting here in January. But I mean, the coaching staff here, the coaching staff at Iowa Western, they all helped me get through that process and helps me get to where I am today, and I'm blessed to say the least.
Yeah, you got hit a ton out there tonight. Just what helps you stay tough out there?
Just having back in my mind that I know my brother's got my back and they're going to do the same for me. So I'm going to get up and I'm going to keep playing my hardest every snap.
What does it mean for the offense to have a guy like Ife at 8?
Man, it means, I mean, I can't even explain it. He's so explosive and he can make so many plays, and he's a great player.
Well, Hunter, y'all next week y'all head to UCF. Of course, y'all's mind is on the win tonight. Just
Yes, sir.
what can y'all take from this season-opening victory, and then heading into the rest of the season?
We just got to use it as fuel to keep going because 1-0, we got plenty of more games left, and we just got to keep going and keep battling each and every practice, each and every play, each and every rep we get, trying to be the best to our ability and worry about UCF now.
You know, last year you weren't here for the 0-8 start, but what was it kind of like in that locker room with all those guys that felt what it was like to start 0-8? You know, getting that first win of the season and kind of get the party going early.
Man, it was great. There was so much joy in the locker room, and it brought me almost to tears because I was so happy because I was just able to get those guys the first win of the season right off the bat, and starting out good, and it means everything.
You know, David, just a big win for y'all tonight to kick off the season. Just kind of what was your emotions out there getting when the clock struck 0?
I was waiting for the clock to strike 0 because we've been conditioning since January. This team been day in, day out, 5 a.m., 6 a.m. We just didn't want to end up like last year. So even when guys got tired of like, bro, we're up at 6 a.m., why are we conditioning we had to do something different to make something work. And you see tonight it paid off big, and the guys are happy. They knew that sacrifice was for something.
You know, early in the game you were able to get a pick 6 and, put them up by 2 scores, hold up by 2 scores comfortably. Just kind of what you see on that throw and, being able to take it to the house.
It was really Coach Cass, the DC. He always tells us, do your job. If you do your job, the plays are going to come to you. So I trusted my job, I trusted my technique, and I seen the ball, and the rest is history.
Just talk a little bit about the DB room. Obviously, some new faces, and you obviously got your counterpart in Davion Armstead back after he redshirted last year. Just what can you say as a whole about that room?
DB is a long time coming. We trust everybody. Like, we trust anybody to go out there on the field. Our defense is simple. Everybody does it. Everybody gets reps in practice. We don't limit anything. We just trust the next guy next to us to do their job and do their 111.
You know what it kind of feel like to go out there with your name on the back of the jersey?
That was actually surprising. I haven't had my name on the back of a jersey since middle school. So it was emotional, but I still understood the task. Like, we got to earn this. We wasn't given. It's a long time coming.
What have y'all worked on over the offseason? I don't remember the amount of defensive penalties, even if y'all had any. Just what keeps y'all disciplined out there?
Our coach really, like, if the rep isn't perfect, like right hand, right foot, you're doing it, and we go in groups. So if your partner mess up, you're doing it again, whether you did it right or not. So I think the repetition and doing it perfect really, it makes it second nature for us.
Last year this defense held BYU to 14, and now tonight against Rice, another team that's been FBS for a long time. What kind of confidence can that give y'all going forward?
It shows this is the beginning. It's only gonna get better from here. The 14 really came for our own mistakes. We slipped, and then we only had 10 people on the field, so we know we can shut a team out if we want to. So we just got to clean it up on our end.
And then just lastly, what can a win like this do so early in the season for a team that struggled so early last year?
Well, yeah, we waited 2 months for a win. Seeing this first win now, like, it really shows it's a different team. And, like, we got, 40 new players, and we trust them. We trust that everybody's bought in now, especially after this game. They see that this is different. It's different this year. So we're going to go up this year.
One more for me. Just you mentioned Coach Cassidy a little bit. Just what has it been like working under him?
It's cool. He's chill, but still to the point where, like, yeah, you got to get it done. He doesn't yell often, but we understand the standard that he's had. I see why he has the job at such a young age. He got a standard that you got to meet, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
What were y'all expecting to see from their quarterback tonight? And did y'all have to make any adjustments once the game got going?
Oh, we knew he was talented. We knew he was an experienced quarterback. And when we were watching film, we just understood his reads, how long it takes for him to get it out, and his decision-making. And so when we went through the plays and we just trusted our plays he called, the ball came to us, and we were just happy with that.
Good. All right. Appreciate it.
Thank you.